going today? Oh, all right. Just get myself situated here. Sorry. Whoops. I'm just gonna mess with this a little bit. I just realized I'm a little too angled. There we go. Alrighty. So how's everybody doing today? Alrighty. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's Wednesday afternoon, so you know what that means. Fun time. Little shout out to Brody Lee, little Luke Harper. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna play some Blitz Royale right now and some duos. See how that goes. Everybody's just waiting for me to finish my intro and everything, and we'll go from there. Alrighty. Alright. So I'm just gonna swap us over right now. There we go. Alrighty. So let's get this going. Everybody ready? Cool. Alright, I'm just gonna unmute off of this chat. There we go, as you continue to hack your lungs out there, bud. You guys failed miserably. I get it. Yep. 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 Have I not proven to him that landing in the dead center of the city is in the middle of the town is the way to go? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. Yeah, like, again, I'll switch. Yeah, by the time you land, that storm's literally like 3 seconds from being on you. Yeah. Yeah. It's not Battle Royale, it's Blitz Royale. It's not designed to be slow and hit the edges of the storms. Nothing against Bushcamp Dad, but it feels like he like Todd's just trying to follow in his footsteps of just being an absolute lurker the whole time. So do I. So do I. Again, sometimes it works really well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm in the middle of the circle. I'm good to go. Like, I don't need to go anywhere right now. Yeah. Yeah. But Blitz Rail is not. It's not meant to hug the edge of the storm the whole time. It's not. It's designed to get in, get it done, and get it out. If you want to play it slow and take your sweet ass time, go play Battle Royale. Go hide on the edge of the storm the whole time. And I'm not bagging on them, but it's just there's a difference in gameplay style. It's why I do so well with this style. Cause it's straight up Leroy Jenkins. Cautious, anxious, hidden. Like there's a million. Yeah. He seems to have lost back. He seems to have lost track of the fact that it's a battle royale, not a hiding royale. So I definitely get that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I finished that one yesterday. You know, you didn't tell me about that. What happened? Oh, ready up. You did not tell me that. We didn't play last night. You didn't tell me anything about the fridges being out. We talked on Sunday or Monday about making a checklist of things that... and reasoning? We did. You didn't talk about it, though. No big deal. Yeah. Yeah. Putting undue stress on it. You're just putting undue stress on a device. No, you didn't even tell me that, because, no. Yeah. Oh. No. Yep. Cool. Is it your day off? Stop talking about work. Let's play. Let's have some fun. Because all it's doing is making you angry. Let's just play. Okay, it's your day off. It's your day off. Let's stop talking about your work. Let's have fun. Let's just play. And I get it. Yeah. I've done that work. I understand how shitty it is. I've been in people's crawl space in like weather this hot and literally just pouring sweat out of me. Your focus right now is to win us some crowns. That's not 30. Make it work. When do we ever not make this work? One down. I'm down. Is it is for dancing in front of the van. One on the roof to your right. There, my car's gonna be gone. It's like, oh, right in front of it. Ah. Take a bite of the meat, and it's just like. Oh, it's probably because they're starting work on the expansion of Bradley. Because they're about to go past White Oaks Road up to Warncliffe with Bradley Avenue. Yeah, tell her that because they're extending Bradley from White Oaks Road to Warncliffe. Like they're extending Bradley Road. Could be. Did you ready up? Does she keep her AC on like really cold in the car? Yeah, but the whole thing is that if it is this hot outside, if she keeps her air conditioning in the car that cold, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I will. dealing with weather this hot, it could be a litany of things. Again, if she drives around with the AC blasting, and then it's 35, it was like 32 degrees. But again, if it... No, but what I am saying, okay, it's the same thing with my buddy and his Camaro that years ago. When it is super cold, he turned the heat on and it cracked his windshield. Because of the temperature change from the inside to the outside can be so drastic that it can just, that pressure just goes on it. Don't dismiss it as it's not an option. Because again, if it was broken before she even got in and she didn't realize it, then it could have been broken. Yes. Now it's tempered glass. All vehicle glass is tempered glass. So if you hit it at the very top, it'll shatter. Like on the very edge of glass, it'll shatter. You hit it right in the middle, it's less likely to break. But yes, it could have been a ricocheted pebble or stone that flew across. Because again, when I was managing Canna Cabana, I had a guy come in because he was trying to fix one of the posts on one of our like tables, and the very tip of his drill bit snapped off, flew across the store, and hit one of my one of the glass sliding doors. Same kind of glass, like that tempered glass that's durable as shit, like that commercial grade. It will not break if you rap on it type thing. It just hit in the wrong spot and it was toasty and it just exploded the glass. Again, it hits in the wrong spot. It could have been a pebble. Again, with it being as hot and muggy and stuffy as possible, if she had the AC going inside to make it comfortable, but with the sun beating down directly on it, if it started to superheat it really fast and there was no more cooling inside, it could have just snapped like that. And it could have just been, again, it happens with sunroofs all the time now. She would have heard it smash, but if all she heard... Yes, I understand this. Close the door and she could hear the glass falling. Yes, like the broken pieces. I picked that up. I paid attention. It is the whole fact. There. Yeah, it could have already been smashed. Yep, and then closing it, the percussive maintenance, like the percussion of the door closing, just knocked more of it loose. Yeah. Because it had already smashed from the heat or whatever, or the stone, whatever it was. But yes, okay, let's play. Did she look at the ring footage? Well, that's on her. Yep. Well, if it's a concern for her, she can go and get another camera. Okay, where are we going? there's a shield over here. Yep. You're just realizing this now, man? Dude, I have mapped out this place. There you go. Where are you going? There we go. Yep. Yeah. Then go for him. Kill somebody else. Ah! Ah, I'm down. There's two coming for you. Ah, they killed me. Take the chug jug. Left. I'd have gone with the shotgun because you only have two people left. You don't need defense stuff, you need murder stuff. Three elims. What drill? Like the rocket ram? Oh yeah, no, it's powered up. Or you should have gone airborne and tried to land on him. Having one of those. Yeah. Oh, I've gone straight up and just when you left the house, you should have just gone up and tried to go down. Somebody's going. Big shield over here for you. What are you talking about? They're the best weapon ever. There's a few out. Crown's still there. Oh, somebody got it. Mama? Oh, sure, now the crown's back. Here comes your buddy. The dove. I don't need that. Take the accelerants. Oh, crap. Damn. 5 limbs. I got killed by somebody called Dab for days. Dabs. One step away from that. Back to back. Yeah, I'll say guy on the left and you run to the right. You were able to go to the gas station. Oh, what have I got? Firebending. I don't even know what firebending is. I don't use these. Got a spire there. Yeah. Oh crap! I did not realize. I realized there was a gas station. I got big shields here for you if you need it. There's a big shield here if you need it. And smalls to follow up. Weapon drop. Alright, ooh yeah. You already have it. Yeah, if you have an empty spot, it just automatically, yeah. I'm gonna shoot this guy in a second. I don't know. Oh. I'm down. I am down. The dude's running away. Cowboy. Cowboy's hiding. Right there. Ah. I'd have gone and grabbed my crown. Color me impressed. This guy is annoying. But I used a healer. I used a healer. And I made sure to pick that thing up because it allowed me to do stuff and move around while it was auto healing me. Because there was nothing left. Yeah, because he was gonna try and do the same thing. He was just gonna try and like guzzle Chug Jug. There we go. I'm gonna lobby out on that one. Woo. I got the chocolate cherry wink. Who thinks of these names? It's an emote. It is an emote. It's part of the 14 days of summer thing. If you level up 12 levels, you get that. So there's the Surf's Up, the Cactus Dude back bling, the Cactus Club, and the Chocolate Cherry Wink. Yeah. See? See, without any context, it's a weird freaking name. It sounds perverse. Yep. Oh, what is day 2? Land a direct hit on an opponent with the Excalibur rifle. Oh god, I don't miss that thing. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that there's gonna be something at the end of the 14 days. So I'm just going to do it. It's called the 14 days of summer quests. So I'm going to assume if you complete all of them, that there's going to be something at the end. No, but they like to sneak those things in every so often. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do it at some point today. I got 17 hours to do it in 3 minutes. Your day 1's gone? My day 1's still there. Yeah, because it's literally like day of. It's this one says ends in 17 hours and 3 minutes. So I completed day 1. Yep, but it's completed. Yeah. Yeah, fall asleep. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Oh, I could. Can I honestly tell you? I tried playing last night. Like my hands to my, like my brain to my hands, like somewhere was not working. I was having one of those nights where it just like it didn't matter what I was doing. Like I'd go to run into a fight with somebody, and before I even got up to them, I just was like immediately like, I'm gonna die here. Like this is not gonna work. You know when you just, yeah, like this is not gonna work out well. Yeah. So, yeah, I ended up not being on super long yesterday. It happens, man. Dude, you're getting up there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. It made sense. He just relaxed. I did the same thing. From what I've been hearing tonight, the heat's supposed to break. It's supposed to actually go back down to like a normal temperature. Dude, I have 3 ACs installed in my apartment now. I have my 2 portables, and then I had to install the one in the bedroom. Yeah, but I also catch the like massive breezes coming in too. But even that's not helping at this point. So we've got the ACs running consistently. Yep. Gotcha. Just hiding on you. Yep. On the shotgun. Weapon drop. Ooh. Hell yeah. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm coming. Run towards me. Run towards me. Okay. You're gonna need to start moving. I do not believe so. I'm going after these idiots that are fighting over here. Okay. I'm going after these idiots that are fighting. Shadow tracker. Got him. Yeah, just make sure you're reloaded on everything. Okay, we got 3 people left. Let's go across the water. Oh. Okay, let's go make them regret not paying attention to us. One down. Gotcha. Yep. There we go. Not a problem. Oh, I'm at 99 out of 100 for restore health or gain shields. Just step into the storm next match, step out, and just use a health pack. Oh. Oh, I didn't even... 4 and 2. Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna stay on and play anyway, so. Yeah. Yep. She's still coming to pick you up. She's got no back window. Or she already got. Already. What you were doing there. He ran in front of you and picked up my gun. You could have picked up my shotgun. You let him run up and take it. I was stunned. All I saw was you standing there. He picked up the gun, ran, and then you just started swinging the pickaxe. That's all I saw you doing. Shooting at me. And now they're passively dying in front of me. Check out this place. No, but this place has 2 nice chests at it. There's a purple hyper burst and an Oni shotgun if you want either of those crap ass weapons. I'm gonna take the hyper burst. To the llama? Okay. Okay. Oh, there's a rift. To the rift. Always. Well, that, good sir, is because you suck. Find no rifts. No rift for you. Oh, crap. There you go. Reload. Weapon up. Is that a balloon landing? Oh, far side. It was the shadow. It cast a huge shadow, but it looked like a balloon, and I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, there's definitely somebody in that house. Yep, there's somebody right here. Oh. Well, there's another team here. Ah! I shut the door on the guy and he came through the door. Alright. Change it up, change it up, change it up, change it up. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright. Yeah, no, I get it. It's the same thing you do every day. I think so, Brain. But don't you need a pool to play Marco Polo? Okay, well, I'm gonna keep playing. I will talk to you later, man. Alrighty, perfect. Here we go. Let's see, let's see. Okay. So I'm loving it because I think it's hilarious. If I go out of this. WWE 2K25. Oh. What do I get? The arena. Okay, cool. Definitely seeing some perks. But I think it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious that this has come out, this has been released, but we still don't have the character from the new Wave Pack. Color me a little confused. I'm hoping that 2K has realized that they have attempted to over-monetize and hyper-grind their game so much that people are starting to respond. I hope. Because I felt like actually buying it this year, and then I realized that it is a huge cash grab now. Like, borderline exploitive, if I'm being honest. For the amount of money that I paid for that game, and others have paid for the game, to have to grind so hard for certain things that should be easy to get, and honestly should be included if you've paid full price for like the Bloodline edition. Because again, you can argue and say, oh yes, you know, Fortnite charges X amount of dollars, you know, essentially 22 bucks for this bundle here of characters and stuff like that. But the base of the game is free. You never have to actually really invest in this game ever, if you didn't want to. And you can play this free and still get stuff eventually. But the fact that I paid almost like 200 bucks Canadian for the Bloodline edition, there's still massive monetization inside the game itself. And while you get skills and currency in game, it doesn't go far. And the fact that everything is a chance of a possibility of a percentage that it's going to, that the cards are going to fall your way, legitimately, because that's how they have the whole system now. It's no longer a game, it's a gamble. And I know it's heavy to say something like that, but you know what I mean? If I buy this character, if I buy Cammy and Guile, I get Cammy and Guile. I'm not buying this character and possibly getting what I paid for. What they're doing is borderline becoming unethical. Just the sheer volume of currency that they want to process, whether that's physical, digital. Well, I guess it wouldn't be physical, but like
too easy.
Hard cash, people's money, they just money. That's it. I'm trying to overstate it, but whether it is, you know, redeemed value through in-game currency, physical currency, whatever.
Too easy.
It's they're doing the fact that there's not even remotely a guarantee that, like, again, we'll go back to this 2025, like 25 character. The fact that you have to have like 4 or 5 sapphire cards or something like that, and then like, no, sorry, it's Taker and Kane sapphire cards, and then whatever the other tier is, or like 4 or 5 of these cards, specific ones too, and like the chances of getting them, again, like, how much do you grind, how much do you pay? Because again, the currency in game still comes at a cost of time, because if you've got to grind out these matches and do all this stuff in order to earn this in-game currency, to literally get a chance, again, just only get a chance at getting the item that you want. To me, that's bordering to a dark territory of like legitimately just a casino. hopefully that works. And it tags me correctly. We'll see how that works. And as always, oversaturates. Why I do not know. Oh, fixed itself. Nice. There we go.
Then, now, forever. Together.
I'm tripping and CC she.
A monster feared throughout the sport.
There is seemingly no fear in Abyss.
WrestleMania. There's no telling what this monster will do under the brightest lights on the biggest stage.
Well, this has definitely made an impact in major events, but nothing compares to WrestleMania. I can't wait to see the brutality Abyss will unleash.
Good job, Chris.
The all-star point guard, Tyrese Halliburton.
Taking a break from setting records in the basketball world to come to WWE.
As opponents, first, from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, weighing in at 190
Unexpected.
pounds, Tyrese Halliburton.
This is a man who took the U.S. national basketball team to gold medal glory.
Might be looking to get some WWE gold on his mantle now.
From basketball to movies to dominating WWE.
And from Newark, New Jersey, weighing in at 360 pounds, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq on the grandest stage of them all once again. Remember, Shaq was a surprise entrant in the Andre the Giant
Actually
Battle
looks
Royal
really
back
good.
at WrestleMania 32.
Like, I love that they
biggest
left the
athlete under
Superman
the
logo
brightest
out, but
light,
it's
Shaq
so
is ready
painfully obvious
for
exactly
WrestleMania.
what was there. And come on, the dude was Superman. Like,
Listen to this. The entire WWE Universe is cheering on Shaq, including yours
it looks
truly.
great, but again, I don't know what it is about these renders. Every single place in the cross. Like, I realize I could make a Perry Saturn joke right now, and I could make a Shawn Michaels joke right now, but that's in poor taste, and I'm not going to do that.
Headed from the court to the ring.
But anyway,
Just know Jalen Brunson's got that hustle.
And from South Jersey, weighing in at 205 pounds, the
I'm just going to say,
Jalen
because I'm like, this dude
A
coming
tremendous amount of focus and determination
this dude-
from Jalen.
has done
I wonder
nothing
if his
wrestling.
three-point precision can translate to
He's just
pinpoint
a fan,
attacks.
I don't know, or like however the hell this came to be a thing, I don't know. You know,
A long-range
if he is a
specialist
fan,
about to
again,
get up
more of
close.
this stuff is going to
They're
happen.
going to make the in-ring highlight reel just like he does on the court.
I think he did an amazing job. I saw a whole new standard for the what a celebrity can do in this. When trying
It's
to
time to get extreme.
give me a second, because I want to explain this, because it's really got me going now. I wonder if I can.
In the lawless landscape that is the Extreme Rules match. Ready for the fight, we have Abyss, Tyrese Halliburton, Shaquille O'Neal, and Jalen Brunson.
Tough night for these competitors, gentlemen. Easy night for the official, though. All they need to do is record the pinfall or submission.
Entire fight.
Golly, that could do permanent
You've got
damage.
a hold
And in
down
a
low
match with no
behind.
rules,
A
what
hold
good
to
even is a strategy?
Yeah, it's a good to throw
aside from the
strategy right
blitz,
out the window here. I'll never argue
yes,
against the
that
game plan,
has
but
done
part of the
that,
extreme
has
rules
done that,
environment means
he's
going with the flow and adapting. No,
He gets,
nothing
and
fancy
he's a
here.
super-
tasted
so, like,
victory.
Backed up. Meanwhile, we have Halliburton.
that is, and again, he is on his
tackle.
stroke.
An unyielding showing of authority. No two ways
Tyrese
about it.
Halliburton,
Just how desperate do you have
other
to
dude,
be? Why not a
Jalen
fair
Brunson.
fight, huh?
Overhead
just because they're a fan and
pressing
they're
their
inside
foot right
once,
into the gut. That's gotta hurt.
he gets to be
There's some
head of
power
the DLC
behind that
guy.
punch. Incredible.
Comes out with Tyrese. I will give it to him. The fact that they got it is entrance song
They are
there
feeding off the WWE fans. Now pinning the arm down and stop right to the
is
hand.
amazing.
That was a showing of control and aggression, something they'll want to
I'm
keep
not
up.
gonna
Well, the
lie.
hoodie and it's over just ripped off here on the monitors as well.
And,
Some bad intentions here, guys. Good defense there.
Oh my
it
God!
wasn't for long. It wasn't happening.
And we see this.
It was still something. Like that one entrance, I think it was the first time they did it. And then the spotlight and just the star. Beautifully
That
done.
was set up in the
Great
corner
song,
of the
especially
ring.
his fresh preliminary champs. He's awesome.
Gotta hurt.
Hard to grab or apply a proper hold
And I
after
know
a move
I
like
have
that.
a tendency to bag on AEW for stuff, but I'm still a fan of it. I just
Leaps up.
drop off a bit with it, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not diving into that conversation. I don't care.
And his focus being
Because again,
tested there.
being
Clothesline.
what I have been a long-time WWE fan, I
Uh-oh.
believe
Denied
and
with
seeing
an
that,
elbow.
you know, I said to my buddy
Oh,
the other
man.
day that
Oh, man.
the WWE as we know it and as we recognize it from a week-to-week standpoint, and its operations and what to expect with the
Trying to string together as many
Will be
hits
done
with that
by the
weapon
end
as
of the year.
possible.
I said that like 2 months ago. I believe that
Here
we're
we
already at
go.
the point where this company is becoming
chance to win it here.
unrecognizable.
He puts an end to the pin there. And we have Brunson. Heads outside the ring.
And no countouts means he can take his time.
The big man Shaq
Things have
measuring his opponent.
And
Lifts
again,
him up.
Logan Paul, huge example. Huge example.
Kick out.
What do you have to do to put this
I
guy
personally, I can't
That'll
necessarily
turn your lights
say
out.
character and his persona and his attitude for that.
Oh, wicked kick to the lower back. He averts the offense.
And again, I get it. That probably
From behind.
sells it, draws it.
Carrying the
They've done a
opposition.
lot of
What's the thought here?
They've been in the spot.
Driven down face first.
So again, things happen, and eventually, he just but I will 100%
Shaq, this could be the end.
As much as
Intercepts the pin
it's
attempt.
easy to say,
And we have Brunson.
I believe that he has done an amazing job becoming a WWE superstar.
Sent hard to the outside. Superstar
He does things that others wish they could.
Driven down with a fireman's carry slam. Brunson was ready for that.
Not something I'm sitting here
Absolutely choked by a German suplex.
You're not going to see me,
Abyss trying to secure the win. He's able to beat a 2 count. Not quite enough to put him away.
Again, love it or hate it, but like getting his prime brand to become as big as it has.
No doubt about it. This is just arrogance. Hoping that was enough. Was it?
Getting
It only gets a 1 count.
Somehow still has the energy for
on
a quick
the
kick
mat
out.
at WrestleMania.
We've seen these men unleash a lot of
And somebody
destiny.
that
It's
we
incredible
also
that this
know
match
that
hasn't ended yet.
It might just be a matter of time. This one is close to
How
coming to a
sacred
head.
Stiff man. He's looking fairly drained.
And
Kinda
a
lucky
lot
only
of
be
the,
this banged up in a lengthy fatal four-way match.
Return fire from Abyss.
but again, the fact that it is like everything is branded now.
Launching their opponent
It
across the
was
ring.
first it was
Catches him with a
the
jawbreaker.
ring, then it was the club,
The cover.
you know, And actually, before that, I will say, it was
Isolating
the screens were on the ring. They would do, like, they did, like, the cinnamon toast pencil with laying down. Something that could have been serious and ended up looking like a joke. It was just a rock advertisement.
On the mark. Heading to ringside now.
The Mountain Dew Cold Red Night, or whatever it was.
I don't know what he's got planned with that, but I know it ain't good.
It seems like this match is becoming something of an uphill battle for him.
Extreme Rules takes an intense toll on the body.
Really
The
was
longer
one of
this
those
match
things
goes,
where,
the worse it gets.
It
quickly
was a
slides
neat
into the
concept,
ring.
it was an idea, but it was very much...
And he's leaving the ring for the moment. This is going to be nasty. Up high.
Now we've got
This battle's found
slings
its way
and
right to
tables.
our doorstep.
That to me is just hilarious, because
Just refusing to give up.
that
Continues
breaks
fighting.
that concept of this is just stuff we have sitting underneath the ring, to here's stuff that we know we're
Face
going to use in the match,
first. Inverted
and
STO.
is specifically put
What
there
a raucous crowd here tonight.
in a branding aspect, which means you're guaranteed to see the table at least once a week.
And
Because
Shaq's
that's the other
plans
thing that
failed
comes
here.
from it, is if they're branding
What a headbutt.
things like tables and stuff like that, they have to be seen. Because again, in order for it to be considered
Shaq is in the zone and
sponsorship,
letting the opposition know it.
like
Boom, running STO plants
brand.
him. Right?
so, the fact that they've done that, and I think they branded their ladders, I'm not gonna lie, I
He looks
didn't
like he's about to
watch
put his
Money in the
opponent
Bank.
in their place. From the top.
Of Scrum.
And here he is, heading back into the ring.
Now, I guess with Money in the Bank too, they branded at least like that night. I think it was Cash App or whatever. But they literally threw like they will brand anything in the ring. And the fact that the mat itself, at times,
Incredible.
one
Shaq
like,
is in the zone and letting the
anywhere
opposition
from
know
like
it.
4 to like 8 different logos. Possibly more.
This is just someone saying, I am the alpha in this match.
One in each corner.
He's setting him
And
up.
then
Oh, no,
one on each side.
this is going to be bad. Guys, get out of the way. Get
Because
out
I've
of the
seen,
way.
because they've got the reality.
Oh, Biff! Full slam. And now we're just looking at a pile of wreckage out here. This is absolute
I
pandemonium.
think
I don't think it's going to get
more
any
and
more
more
insane from here on out.
It's been a
it's
struggle for these
becoming
competitors to find an
less
end to this
about
match.
being
But the struggle's worth it.
a
With every move you
wrestling
make,
show
you hear this capacity
and
crowd
more of just a
following you
spectacle
on that
stage.
journey.
Ducked underneath. Into a German suplex. Getting back into the ring now. No count out as he takes things out of the
Because
ring.
it's not, it seems like, and especially with WrestleMania and everything,
And drop kick.
the fact that it's going back to Vegas next year after being announced. I think that's what really gets me about that whole thing.
He's
Is like,
making his way to ringside now.
why
Oh, right across the
did
solar
you
plexus.
announce it?
Oh, this is really getting out of hand here.
They could have
Someone
waited.
needs to step in.
They genuinely could have waited. There was absolutely no need
Sent straight to the
No need
post. Just
to
vicious.
announce that they were going
Anticipated
to
that.
before WrestleMania.
Stepping out of the ring here.
And a disorienting blow to the head there.
Because where it was being held,
Just striking
shouldn't have
at
mattered.
will. DDT to follow.
and honestly, it would have built a weird suspenseful fight.
And then
Zigzag.
Like,
Did you hear the
wow,
impact?
WrestleMania is come and gone, and they haven't announced where it is next year.
elbow puts an end to that.
What's going on? The chatter would have been huge.
And then DDT.
Now it's just a bunch of negative chatter. Like, why
Right
would
to
you
the
give us that?
kidneys
Why would
from
you announce this
behind.
and then take it away? And again, I am not against it being in Las Vegas. I am 100% okay with that because I think Las Vegas is one of the premier towns, premier cities, locales, destinations that can handle something of this magnitude that they want to do without absolutely just gagging the city. Because they could do all of everything that they're planning on doing legitimately in the south, like
The suspense this crowd is feeling is
of the Las Vegas
They
Strip.
are waiting with bated breath.
You've got Allegiant
What's to come
Stadium
next?
for the venue, for the show.
Watch out.
Done.
Oh, strong impact.
Right across
Okay, Brunson might be done here.
from
He kicks out at
so
two.
not hard.
Both competitors digging deep into
Short
their well
walk.
to keep
I
this
did in
match
42
going.
degrees Celsius weather. My shoes melted. I was a little delirious afterwards, but I also went all the way out to the Sun, to the Pinball Hall of Fame, and then walked up the strip
Headed up to the
in the
top
sun.
turnbuckle.
And like that's on me. I was outside in the middle of something big to watch.
Meanwhile, we have Halliburton.
I got a really sad from it. And it was literally a picture of Allegiant Stadium with a Money in the Bank advertisement
Look at Shaq.
and
Look
the
at the
billboard
size of him.
directly at
Shaq going
Money
for
in
the
the
pin.
Bank. Supposed to be at Allegiant, but very quickly got moved to MGM
He's able to cut
Arena
off the pin count here.
because of lack of ticket sales, I think. Again, this was coming with
Shot.
COVID
Oh, wow.
stuff.
Look at
and
the damage to
travel was
Shaq's
difficult,
face.
and it just wasn't quite. You see Janice? Yes, he did.
The pin is broken. That could have been it. And we see this.
So it was basically like Allegiant Stadium, the ad, like the ad on the billboard, and then MGM Arena in the background. And this was just after he tore his
He did not want things to end this way. The big
So
man
he
Shaq
was
measuring his
out of,
opponent.
like, I think this was like the shot
It's over.
after
Tyrese is done.
after the Hell in a Cell match. And they were like, yeah, it's not.
This is not going to end well.
He goes for
But
the
it was
pin.
clearly,
Could this be it?
and that's how they were going to do it.
Got him, and he wins the fatal four-way.
Here is your
If
winner.
anybody's supposed to win this match that I booked, it should be.
An enormous win here in this fatal four-way match.
We saw something special from each of these men tonight.
I
It
thought all
is
four of them had a shot at winning this
Definitely one of
match.
those things where you put, like I said, it was just sad because it was like everything that could have gone wrong at that moment for WWE that was going wrong was just perfectly encapsulated kind of in that look of it. It really being one of the first times that in a long time that they had to move location. Because again, I think back to the LA WrestleMania that they had to move from the Coliseum or whatever. Because of Sergeant's Slaughter is what people say, but it was pretty bad. They claim it is. Either way, doesn't really matter. But it really was one of those things where that just I saw that, like I just looked up, saw it, and I was like, oh, that's sad, and I was like, I had to take a picture. But again, you've got for WrestleMania, I think it's for that week, because again, what they want to do is have it be like a solid week of events, where you're genuinely WrestleMania itself is just the culmination of the week. You have so many things, because again, And again, this year showed how much you can do. Because again, I got WWE Worlds and all that stuff. And again, that in itself is a massive encompassing thing. You know, it is absolutely huge. It is clearly a massive money for them. Because that is essentially like the pilgrimage for wrestling fans at that point. As a wrestling fan, and as a fan of Vegas, I am very sad that I didn't go this year. I did go to Elimination Chamber, and that was amazing. I don't think that they captured the energy in that building and the presentation as well as they should. Because from what I can show you, from where I was seated, the presentation factor was way better than it came across. And it's just the way they angled stuff and tried to do things. It was a weird setup that they don't normally do. Like when they did WrestleMania 18, they came out at like onto the in a center field, and that's kind of where everything happened. Like the stage was center field wall, and everything came out that way. This was different. They came out from the dugouts. They basically set everything up over like second base. I'd say between like the pitcher's mound and second base, because they hung the cage and everything, like the chamber, which I'm so thankful that they did, because if they had to put pillars in place, it would have ruined it. It would have looked horrible. So thank you to whoever figured out to do that properly and hang it from the actual dome. Thank you. But the show itself at Allegiant, you can run everything else television-wise at a T-Mobile Arena, right across the street. If you don't want to do that, there is arenas in Mandalay Bay, directly next to Allegiant Stadium. They've held multiple things there before. It was just before T-Mobile Arena. T-Mobile is now the de facto place for them to do that. So, MGM Grand Garden Arena. Again, we just talked about it. They moved some money in the bank in 2022, sorry. And it was a pay-per-view for the LA. So, again, they can do that. It is a viable option. Hotels, in order to stay at and put your the staff and again, I said those first 3 blocks, if you were to go from Mandalay to MGM, there's 3 properties. If you go another block, I will say 2 blocks. You also get New York, Park MGM, which used to be Monte Carlo. On that side. Yes. And I will literally take it by intersections. So like the intersection where Diablo used to be, that leads to T-Mobile from the strip, I will consider that to be a block. Because it technically is a 4-way intersection, so I will count that. Same thing with Tropicana? No, Tropicana is down. Yeah, because where MGM and everything is. Where Diablo's was like T-Mobile Parkway or whatever it is now. And then I wish it could be the next thing. It's basically what we call Planet Hollywood, and like Miracle Mile shops start. But is there? It's on the top, the corner where Cosmo is. So even in that space, you've got all those. And if you want to stop at the aria, you could technically start counting like Cosmo. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna include it Cosmo because it's right on that corner. I think there's one or two other small boutiques in that complex. Beautiful high-end like the crystal shops at Aria, which is just an insane high-end mall. Yeah, I walk into that place and I feel cool. I'm not gonna lie. I just walk in and I go, I mean, no. I'm good. That's just that one side. Then you have the MGM Grand in itself, huge. The signature at MGM Grand, another one. Like there's like a Villas or something. I don't know if Polo Towers is still there. I had heard something about it, but even though, like they're there. And how much more else there is. But again, you've also got. I'm not even going to include Planet Hollywood into it because it is a bit further back from that intersection. But even still, just with that space, that is huge, and that is only using 3 small blocks. One side of that street where you've got Mandalay, Luxor, and Excalibur, you know, that in itself is a decent amount of hotel space to put that capacity for the show. But again, you've got expansion, you've got so much more. I'm just trying to say within that 3 blocks, so much you can do. For the convention, there is the MGM Grand Convention Center, which, from what I've seen, just capacity of people-wise, because I've stayed at MGM Grand a lot, and like I've seen, you know, companies like Ace Hardware, I've seen Chipotle, and so many other companies have these massive like global conventions there, and the amount of people that I just see pouring in at it. Like sometimes I'm just meeting people, and of course my wife had 5 kids, fishing careers I just put my way through. I'm sitting there trying to play catch with it. That is a huge space. Add to the fact that you've also got Mandalay Bay's Convention Center space that is massive, has a huge hallway. Like I haven't even been in there, but I've gone past it to get to the short range, and like that in itself was a journey to get to. So the amount of space that I can only assume is available to do something like WWE was is massive. So yeah, it is absolutely something that, you know, they've got the spaces for it, and even if you wanted to split the stuff up between Mandalay and MGM Grand, again, shared owned property, you know, both under the same umbrella. That literally, that whole corner, that whole stretch from MGM to New York, Park, MGM, Excalibur, Luxor, and Mandalay Bay, all owned by MGM Resorts. So that is literally all-encompassing, one company, one association, right there. You've got, like I said, T-Mobile, and you've got Allegiant Stadium, you've got your space set. Now, even with the limitations of them taking away the Tropicana, which RIP, you know, hopefully you see this new baseball stadium come to fruition, and it's really nice, and I hope it is. And I hope it's a benefit as a whole. I think it's awesome. Again, you're not going to hear me bag on what Vegas is, because I love that city. And so it very much is, I think, what you can fully accept that WrestleMania is very suited for Las Vegas. And you've got so many venues that you can do emotional things on. You want to do the one-man shows. You've got Brad Garrett, like Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at MGM Grand. I haven't seen the new showroom, like the new showroom on the main floor, just off the strip. I've seen the outside, but I used to go when I was down in the basement, and even at that place, like that was hole in the wall-y. It was definitely more intimate. The upstairs is apparently a lot nicer and a lot bigger. But again, also a little bit more money. Coming out of the basement, away from the pretzel stand, rent gets a little more expensive there. So, it is... It's a good venue for the one night, like the one Dead Man show, any standout. And again, I don't know if they're going to do it again, because it didn't sound like it went over all that well. But if they wanted to do like any of the roast stuff or things like that, there's more than enough venues in those, literally all those spaces there, that you could definitely use. Because again, I will even say, there is, at New York, there's Cirque du Soleil that's there. I can't remember what it's called. But I saw Zumanity there. It was the first Cirque du Soleil and the first Vegas show that I've ever actually saw the first time we went. We got to see it the night we landed. It was just included with our tickets. And we saw the new one. I wish like Big Apple or something like that. Mad Apple, I think it's what it's called. We saw that one. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic show. That set up that like theater, perfect for something like the roast. I think it'd be amazing. Again, just throwing this out there. You compensate. You give them a cut, MGM a cut of some of the profits, and you go dark for a night during this. But the revenue made from the entire week will offset the loss in revenue from not performing that show one night, or you have your dark day on another day. You know what I mean? Like if you're normally off Monday, Tuesday, okay. So Thursday, Friday this week are your dark days. Do a show on Monday, Tuesday. Go dark on Tuesday. They only take one dark. I don't know. Whatever. But it to me, and again, I'm not disparaging any of the performances the show made. I'm just saying from a WrestleMania event and creating a whole environment of things to do during that week. Because again, it's not just about WrestleMania itself. WrestleMania just happens to be the feather in the cap at the end of the week. you know, it's definitely in line with what they want it to do. And, you know, I will say it really sucks for New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Now let me say that as I'm very honest, I was there for the weekend. I was in a very touristy area. I basically stayed in the French Quarter, went over to Frenchman Street. Like, that was like the most explorative I went. You know, like I went to the casino, I went to the Whitmall and water. But beyond that, like, the aquarium, like, we stayed in the French Quarter, checked it out, enjoyed some food. Outside of that, I get that city can do again, it comes down to a lack of,
Back in the house with a knife.
dragging their feet on preparedness, and it's not necessarily the city's fault, because again, there's only so much that you can do as you're consistently digging out. If I'm being honest, you know, at a federal level, this is when you go, hey, like, invest in building firms, and something to protect it a little bit better. It's just me. You know, it is. I don't know. But it to me, it really is one of those things where, like, you know, your ability
The Rock has arrived.
The following contest is a fatal
or kind of limited.
extreme.
You know, there's definitely still a good force area.
Making his way to the ring from
But
Miami, Florida,
it is.
weighing in at 275 pounds. The Rock!
Here's an absolute impressive
not as
young
prepared.
athlete on the grandest stage.
For
Now think
what
about
they-
this, The Rock main event in WrestleMania 15 at the age of 26.
And from the moment he stepped foot in WWE, WrestleMania was The Rock's destiny.
as Las Vegas.
Third
Because again, like I
generation
said,
star
that
who
was in
was
3 blocks.
born for WrestleMania.
No, sorry, 3 block diameter. You know, because if you basically spin that out from like T-Mobile Arena, everything that I said would be
He's
basically
the trailblazing, eyebrow-raising phenomenon.
You're also
The great one,
just around the
ready
corner
for action.
from the airport, where helicopter area, like private landing area, all that stuff. So easy in and out access. Pedestrian bridges, so you're not having to deal with pedestrian problems. As long as it's well maintained with police and security to keep things moving at the end of the shows and moving into stuff.
The best
You're set.
in the world.
I believe the craziest I've ever seen in that city was the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight. Booked the trip there. Well before we even announced it. It was like a month and a half, 2 months after we booked it. They announced it.
And his opponent, first,
And I'm like, why does that date sound familiar?
Illinois, weighing in at
And I realized
218 pounds.
I'm gonna beat him. At that time, I was a travel agent. and
CM Punk is a man with a very
within 24 hours,
complicated
they
history
booked
at
Skyway.
WrestleMania.
The
because
owner of many
everybody
major
respected
wins, but some big losses as well.
gentlemen.
We've
I'd
seen
say
Punk defend
just
the
over
WWE Championship here. Won
before,
Money in the Bank matches in back-to-back WrestleManias.
before
Yeah,
the
but
fight.
Michael, we've also seen
Because I
CM
was
Punk
excited. It was basically
lose
my
to
Friday,
legends like
Thursday,
Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton,
before
and
I
The
was
Undertaker.
And Punk showed he's still a lightning rod at WrestleMania 40 when he cost Drew McIntyre
he
the
comes in and
World
he's like, man,
Heavyweight
got a conference.
Championship.
I gotta get
The
there.
goal is once again to
have to
live
do
in
it,
the
like, on the
age of
stage.
Punk and the showcase
I
of
started
the
looking. I couldn't find a direct flight to save my life. I was sending him like 2, sometimes 3 connections just to get him from Toronto to Las Vegas. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen such gridlock in the city. Again, I've seen it busy. I've seen it packed. Never like that. And it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
Holy cow! Look at the size of that ham hock!
Man, this takes me back. Like, just to say, like, when I say, like, Bracken has, like, I remember being absolutely intimidated as hell and terrified watching him lock Ultimate Warrior in a casket.
And accompanied by
Like,
Brother Love from
that was
Death
honestly
Valley,
one of, like, my
weighing in
true
at
first
309
core
pounds,
wrestling.
the
Because I had started to watch it, and I liked it.
Undertaker.
And
Guys,
then
he's got to be
that
well over
happened,
300
and I was
pounds,
just
nearly
like,
7 feet tall. Certainly looks to be so. I'm too scared to get close to this frightening being.
What madness has Brother
just showed
Love
the
brought
level of
onto
chaotic
WWE?
energy that I shared.
It's horrifying.
You know, and it, to me, it was just, yeah. You know, the focus was,
The Undertaker has created
again,
a casket
we'll
for
talk about
every competitor in the
WrestleMania in
locker
Las
room
Vegas.
and promises to
WrestleMania.
bury them all 6 feet under.
the focus
That
of
is a
that
terrifying thought.
was on the wrestling, it was on the stories, it was everything like that, and it was the grandeur of that. 41 still definitely had that. The amount of advertisement, the fact that it wasn't just about the show anymore. They had done the entire week leading up to it. If I'm being honest, I think some of the stuff actually detracted
He's here
from the
and
show
holding 2
itself.
championships.
And from Atlanta, Georgia,
I really gotta take
weighing
that
in at 220 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion and the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
It's got to be great to be a double champion in WWE, but he has twice the target on his back right now.
Indeed,
again,
Michael.
some
When
of
you're
the
at this
framing,
level in WWE,
crossover, and
everyone
just
is gunning for you.
money,
Even your so-called
everything you could do.
allies. I think this guy has more titles than friends right now. Gentlemen, you don't get to this level of success in
you know,
WWE
it's-
by accident. He had the skill
very
to earn
expensive.
both those titles, and I think he's
again,
got the
like I said,
skill
I
to
said to
keep
my buddy, but
both titles.
2026, it's going to be an unrecognizable company. I'm already starting to get to the point where the Dunks and Destruction
Just one last
DLC
reminder that he is the double
is more of a
champion.
priority than releasing the last character from the previous actual wrestling DLC. To me, that's a little tough.
So here we go. Extreme rules, basically anything goes. You can win by pinfall or submission.
Every hold, every surface, every object in the arena is all fair game for these combatants.
Genuinely at this point,
Across the top rope. Big
big
drop
change.
of the leg.
And
How do you
Yeah,
win
more
a
and
no
more,
DQ match
it's-
or even survive it?
And again,
By being fearless, you can't let this chaotic and dangerous match intimidate you into playing it
there's
safe.
always been celebrity in it. There's always been crossover. I've done it. Are you kidding me? The first real, I think, pay-per-view that I ever bought was WrestleMania 14 with Tyson. I am all for that mainstream. Again, back then, amazing. That entrance in Puerto Rico is one of the hottest entrances I have ever seen from a crowd.
Oh, the arm taking the brunt of that.
Like, that was
Stop after stop
crowd
after stop.
electricity.
Oh man, that's like death
And
by
that
a
was for
thousand
a
cuts.
rapper. That was for a singer, for a non-wrestler to main event a pay-per-view directly
Here comes
after
the setup.
WrestleMania.
Combination
You know what I mean?
double
You could have
DDT.
had so much other
Looks like they are putting
little
aside their
offenses
differences for now. Wonder how long this
from
will last.
WrestleMania.
As long as it needs to, Saxton.
And you turn around and do Damian Priest
Running
versus Bad Bunny,
DDT.
and they tear that place down. Amazing. So again, I am not opposed. I am not opposed to celebrity crossover.
Finds a counter for the dead man.
Logan Paul may
Big
have
time height on
opened
that kick.
door to again more of the WWE ID stuff, where they're going to start looking at
He's going for the pin.
you know,
Bringing up the pin
wrestling
count there.
schools,
But
and where
meanwhile,
they can train people. Because again, they've got the performance center.
He
They've got the
is determined
And it's cool
to
that
fight
they
out of this predicament.
in the edge and
that there was enough to shake even the Rock's confidence.
Yeah, just like Taker to prove why he really is on top.
they can develop part of it.
Moonsault! Moonsault!
Cover.
see-
Could this be it?
The WWE
And he
of
stops
what
the count.
I was a fan of, and what I've come to expect in things is going out the window very quickly.
Rock floats over.
Everyone's moving to two
Nice
nights.
DDT.
I don't like wrestling or the
Fisherman
Rumble being two
suplex.
nights. Doesn't need to be. The Rumble should be one night.
Power slam.
You have
You have to be in peak
Couple
physical
title
condition to
matches.
pull off a move with that much weight behind it.
and two Rumble. That's it.
Caught him with a big
That's all
boot
you need
on
for
the
that.
mark. Hung out to dry.
Again, doesn't even need to be
Down he
title
goes.
matches. You can literally just do a
I don't
couple
know what he's got in mind
tag
heading to
matches,
the floor here.
stuff to build towards Mania.
The Undertaker
But it's also a good
clearly
chance
wants
to
a
close
fight
chapters
here.
on plans that you've been working on for a year, so that you can start thinking big for the World WrestleMania. I'm all for that. But I don't think you need
Taking this match to
to
the outside.
for the
Chuck that chair right in.
your weekly TVs for. You want to make people tune into that stuff too.
And he now
Yeah, make it
slides
more
back
fun.
into the ring.
Because again,
He's got to refocus on
you don't
that.
tune in
Like
for
a
a week going
heat-seeking
into
missile,
the
hit the
late
target
90s,
right on the
and
mark.
next thing you know, Mick Foley's the champion. Stuff
This
happens.
match is just
Things
evolving
happen.
right
It
before
was-
our very eyes.
It was
I
unexpected.
really hope it doesn't get more hazardous than this. Takedown.
You know, you still have at least one pay-per-view
This is
in between.
ridiculous. This is
maybe two.
insulting. This is entertaining. And I don't think there was
You
anything
can also,
necessary about that.
run Saturday night's main events now. Keep it one night. Keep that hype in there. I get you wanting to do 2 nights for SummerSlam. You know, middle of the summer, it's nice. Pretty well across the board in North America. So your opportunity to do an open air, like open stadium 2-night show, a lot easier, a lot better. You know. I think 40 let them realize that
Double Russian leg sweep. At this
Like
stage, he's endured plenty of big
is,
attacks.
This is what
not
we
always a
expect out of
guarantee
Extreme
that
Rules.
some of these
No
big
one is
venues
safe.
or big markets are going to work out like that, because again,
Hooked up.
it
Double
was
underhook.
What
like
goes
it
up
was
must
30
come
kills
down,
during,
and it sure as hell did
during
right
the
there.
40.
The American Nightmare
Two
playing his
apparently
mind
better
games,
with Saturday,
goading the
December 3rd
competition.
and Saturday, but again, still kind of killer.
Pedigree.
That's why, honestly, I will say, Elimination Chamber was awesome. It was cold as
And rising to pain, trying to find an
Cold as
escape.
hell outside.
A couple of knees there. That'll get him
that whole day. Like, and especially once the sun went down, did it every chill.
Rhodes connecting with a
But you
series
turn
of
around
left-hand jabs,
and
setting
they
the
kept the dome
table
full.
for this.
Yeah, they swung by it, so they couldn't open it anyway. And it didn't matter. It was so comfortable in there.
Strong kick out late into the match.
How at this point you don't even stay down long enough for a one count is beyond comprehension.
Again, like,
It's time for the most electrifying
it was just a lot. But I think what we've come to expect is the standard schedule and the expectation of certain things
Breaks the close count.
with WWE is going to be changing very dramatically into something much more unrecognizable for me.
Solid cut.
Anybody who wants this 5 times into it.
There won't be any coming
How
back
much
to
it
the
has
rock
changed
now.
in that time frame has
Not
been
a single
drastic.
person in this place is sitting down.
And it
We
just,
might just be
it
watching
keeps
one of the greatest
seeming to
matches we've
accelerate
seen in
as
quite some time here.
because again, with this
Picked up and being carried
inclusion of
away.
Fanatics, which I'm going to assume that Fanatics has got some part of ownership of TK,
Counter by CM Punk.
or because again, Fanatics is a very big selling company,
This is it.
or at least an investment.
Bringing up the pin right there. Then down to Undertaker. He's struggling to stay in the...
So
Cody looking for the win. Clutch Rhodes. Rhodes just turned the lights out.
I think that's it. That must be
that's
it.
kind of going on with
Calculating the next move here.
expanding in
Fight
the
the
sports
way
stuff
out of
like that.
his way.
Like
Elbow
every
to the
brand,
jaw.
NFL, NHL, MLB, NBA, all have massive agreements with Fanatics.
Trying to end this right
You know,
now.
the fact
Wait a
that literally
second.
Fanatics
Fear on the
makes
ropes. This is illegal.
what the
He's rising to his
MLB
feet in a perilous
and the NHL
situation.
jerseys now.
There's not a single person sitting in this arena. It's
There's something.
Pandemonium, Cole. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Crucial moment for the Undertaker.
And they're like they're literally everywhere. Like now they've got their official partnership with WWE. You know, like they do podcasts that are like co-branded WWE Fanatics. So it's just
He's able to end the pin count
it's
there.
something to see where you know that little company from Connecticut, owned by Liz McMahon,
Fist to the skull.
is now part of a massive
He
conglomerate.
turns it into the Anaconda Vice. He's forced to tap out. No other choice.
Ghost.
Here is your winner,
So to me, it's really something.
Fatal four-way match.
All three of his opponents really made him fight tooth and nail to capture the victory tonight.
Yeah. But the point that I was saying was that WrestleMania is more than just an event. And while New Orleans has a great energy and has an amazing stadium, like stadium for it, with Caesars Superdome, it does not have the surrounding infrastructure for events, hotels, capacity, and just everything, security, all that stuff, ease of access between the locations too, all while maintaining safety and security for the patrons as well as the superstars and staff. I love New Orleans, but unfortunately it's not the safest place in the U.S. for the world. Las Vegas has some of the greatest security out there. Again, nothing happens in Las Vegas that isn't essentially reported. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a public space on that strip, just assume that you're on a camera. It is very easy to think of it that way. You know, they've got the infrastructure to handle what I think WWE is very and then they take a week on them as opposed to just a weekend. show with a Sunday show with a couple points around. You start to motivate all of them. You've got the Sphere for show. You've got the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is freaking massive. Hell, they played video games on the side of one of the new hotels. Like, they played WWE 2K, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. They did like a tournament. So, I'm not sad. I'm not mad that they're doing it in Las Vegas again. Again, I think that it's amazing. I think it is, again, the venue of choice for said thing. Because again, when you start looking at New York, Los Angeles, they are great places with massive people and all kinds of amenities and ability for that infrastructure to handle it. But the distance between MetLife and like New York itself, where a lot of people are going to be staying, is a distance. And when the show finishes at midnight or after, and by the time everybody's piled out, last time they did this, they didn't think, and they shut down the system, so everybody got stranded for hours. That's not a concern in Vegas. Literally just keeping people moving on the way out is the biggest concern. Just get everybody out. Everybody out, and you're good. Just keep them flowing. Avoid a traffic jam. That's it. That is the biggest issue you're going to run into in Las Vegas. Is just everybody leaving Allegiant Stadium and everywhere they spread out. You don't technically need cars, but you have passageways to deal with vehicles without impeding the flow of pedestrians, which is easy. Like, there's certain places where, again, speaking of Toronto, Air Canada Centre, Scotiabank Arena. If you park underneath there and you try and leave after the final buzzer, like if you leave with everybody and you like run down your car, if you are not one of the first ones out of there before the mass of people, you're stuck. You are absolutely stuck because that place empties out straight to the front of that building. And you can't go anywhere because they hit that intersection, everybody just bundles up, and then there's still cross traffic, and it's amazing. The dome's not far. There's enough open space, but again, traffic not smooth. If laid out correctly, can operate in a more smooth fashion than it normally does, but would require a lot more cooperation and collaboration with like the CTC and like the city of Toronto itself. And needs to be some sort of negotiation. Again, think like shutting down the Gardner for Taylor Swift as more of an extreme. I'm thinking more just like closing off a couple of streets kind of leading to the Gardner or like out of the downtown core and keep that as like a pathway for people getting out. I'm just talking about that. So, and that to me is kind of like the whole thing with it, is that it could definitely work, as a whole with it, elsewhere, but it's just not going to work as smoothly as Las Vegas because they have everything in place. It is designed to bring that mass amount of people in, give them a good time and experience what they want, set up their stuff, and get out for the next ones. You know what I mean? They had, what was it, the NHL All-Star Game and the Super Bowl or the Pro Bowl, one of the two, pretty sure it was the Super Bowl. No, it might have been the Pro Bowl. because I don't think they would have had it on the same weekend as the Super Bowl. That would just be stupid. And they did their All-Star game literally across the street at T-Mobile Arena when I want to say it was the Pro Bowl was across the street at Allegiant. More than enough space for everybody, no congestion. You know, my uncle, who actually got me into wrestling, which is hilarious, was oddly enough on vacation in Vegas during WrestleMania week. He wasn't going to any of the stuff. He's kind of moved on from it. And he's not me. He got me hooked in it, and I just never stopped. He's moved on from it. He told me that he was like, the amount of fans that he saw was stark. Like, it was definitely a lot, but it wasn't the only thing going on. Like, he wasn't feeling inundated and just surrounded by wrestling fans while there, even though WrestleMania week was going on. So that there was a lot going on, and there was a lot around. You know, there's still other conventions and other, you know, expos and stuff like that going on that, like, you don't even know are going on there. Because again, it's when they book it, and it can handle it. It's got the ability to do that and not completely break the system. That city is perfectly designed for an event like WrestleMania, and I think the thing is that WrestleMania itself is kind of the catalyst where it is becoming a spectacle of a show, and everything about WWE is trying to live up to that level. Because again, I think they're trying to turn SummerSlam into Summer WrestleMania. If what I heard is right, and they want to run a, you know, greatest WrestleMania of all time in Saudi Arabia, you know, outside of our standard WrestleMania, to give them what they would consider to be a WrestleMania, that's that. You know what I mean? It is just, it's being diluted a bit. And I think the whole fact of, you know, wanting to have more stadium spectacle shows, because again, Elimination Chamber was amazing at the Dome. That was probably the coolest event that I have been to for wrestling. Now, I've been to Survivor Series, I've been to Raw, I've been to SmackDown, I've been to NXT, I've been to TNA tapings, I've been to TNA house shows, AEW tapings, not even tapings, live Collision. I've been to pre-tapes, I've been to, you know, live shows, pay-per-views, everything in between. And like, I've been in the Impact Zone. It was cool. Not as big as you think it would be. And you know, that in that stadium was different. The energy was off the charts. You know, I've been to sellout pay-per-views. I was there when Goldberg finished Lesnar in a minute 26. 18,000 people in stunned disbelief. I will tell you that right now. Fully. Just gobsmacked. Excited as hell. It was awesome. Should have ended there. Just saying. Could have gone out. Did one more tiebreaker. That's that. But they could have left it at that. Would have been fine. I digress. Edge's last match in WWE. Same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I had tears in my eyes. You know, I've been to house shows where it's that have had massive events in them. You know, not like in the timeline of like WWE, but just like crazy like triple threat matches between like the Whites and the Shields. You know, table after table, chairs, ladders, everything. Just epic matches that you only get on house shows. And I'm very, very proud to have gotten to see some of those. And it is, with everything trying to replicate the energy of what WrestleMania is, and the fact that it's not just for wrestlers anymore. The focus has started to shift clearly more to the celebrity of it all. It changes things, and I think it is WWE is going to cease being World Wrestling Entertainment and just become WWE, and that's all it'll be. It is the brand. It's like UFC. It's like TKO. UFC, TKO, WWE. WWE is only going to stand for WWE. That's all it's going to be soon. And it's just, I think that's the way it's going, and it's because of the buyout. It's because of the merger. Things will change. The guys that we see running the show right now probably not going to be around in a couple of years running everything. Once it starts shifting to more of a celebrity gala, which it is, you can see it becoming. I think you're going to start losing that kind of sense of identity of what it is. Obviously we're seeing names, less and less, return names from legacy and stuff like that. The changing of the guard over the years. The fact that like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are considered to be some of like the old timers now, and seen a retirement tour, like 25 years. 25 years. I remember watching that dude come out and tell me that he had ruthless aggression. Like, it is something to see that, we all knew when the transition was eventually going to happen, there was going to be a level of uncertainty. I don't think anybody expected the business to transition the way it did. And it's just, I think it's different. And I don't think I'm going to recognize that company in the next year and a half to 2 years. Because it's already, some of their decisions, some of the things that they're doing are starting to be very, very out of pocket. Fanatics to me is kind of a huge thing. Like this Fanatics Fan Fest or whatever. Like Angry John Cena comes out and is cool with the crowd. Like, it just, I think it pulls back the curtain a little too far on that, too publicly. Like, again, you can talk about everything and kayfabe and all that stuff and how it's evolved, and again, you're in more of a reality, but like, I shouldn't have to suspend all my disbelief at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you suspend, like, there's a suspension of disbelief. Things like, again, because you want to be a part of it. Again, it's like watching a horror movie. You know what I mean? I know that it's a movie, but again, I'm going to be screaming at them to, get out of the gazebo and run because he's, hiding behind that tree. Like, I want to enjoy it and I want to be enthralled by it. When you were trying to do something as heavy-handed as the John Cena heel turn, I'm not even going to touch base on the whole Rock thing and the aspect with that, because again, huge can of worms. Whoever you talk to, somebody's going to be pissed off, somebody's not going to be happy, whatever. When you try and maintain that level of it and say, and follow that storyline of him being so bitter and angry at the fans over all these years, and then to turn around and like you're literally in the middle of a pinnacle rivalry, like match build up, and then he just comes out and he's, you know, glad handing people, shaking, doing pictures, and like genuinely looking like he's having a great time. And I love that he's having a great time. I do. The next day he goes on air and is like, people suck, I'm mad, I've been victim of abusive relationship for 25 years. It is disappointing to see because the whole just think of The Undertaker and how much he protected his character and his persona. Mysterio tries to keep his face covered when he does social media posts. Most luchadors do, because they still respect that privacy and that aspect of that. It is disappointing as a fan to see them just spit in the face of what they want us to buy into, you know. Because again, I was at Elimination Chamber. I watched him turn. I watched The Rock give him the signal that meant absolutely nothing in the long run. I saw the better PLE. I'll say it. But I feel like that was a turning point. I think that was a genuine turning point for the company and what the directly say. We as WWE fans tend to make fun of AEW for being chaotic and not having, you know, plans in place and no direction, and it's just chaos and everybody's going in 20 million directions. I'm going to be honest, WWE is starting to kind of come off that way, that it's a rudderless ship at this point. And it's not anything against Trips. It's nothing against HBK, nothing against the creative there, you know, but TKO is turning that thing into a monetization machine. Because I will tell you, the lineups that I saw for the merch booths, the longest lines I have ever seen at the Sky Dome, and I've seen enough events there, and for just wrestling as a whole, like everything, they had a whole section of, you know, probably a good 20-25 feet, at least 10 to 12 feet high, of just championship belts. There's a whole section on itself. And those things were expensive. Like my rent for a month for one of those things. It was nuts. It was absolutely insane. But again, when you've got partnerships with Fanatics and all these other companies, everybody's got to get paid. Everything's branded. Everything's got to be bigger. Everything's got to draw more eyes. Everything's got to make somebody money. And that's where I say I'm starting to not recognize WWE, because it's not a wrestling company anymore. It is an advertisement, branding, marketing company. You know, if you want to do something and you want to get your product to eyes all over the world, you're going to partner with WWE. You know, Dude Wipes. Using Dude Wipes as a sponsor for a women's title match, not cool. I'm just going to say it. Don't think it's the right choice. Any other match you can do it with, I don't care. Women's title match, maybe don't do a product called Dude Wipes. I'm just saying. But that's, you know, that's me humming and hawing, and nitpicking at that point. But you know, I just think that it's definitely become more of a showcase, or a platform for everything else but WWE. You know, again, they're using it. They've been, you know, and again, it comes Pat McAfee. He's been something. He's put a different energy in there. I'm not the biggest fan of his. I don't hate him, but I don't really like him all that much. You know, again, for me, it's just not my cup of tea. Again, some people, he may love his stuff. You know, I'm not even the biggest, like I said, I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan. I've listened to episodes of his. I listened to the episode with him and John Cena. I ended up watching What Drives You with John Cena, and his first guest was Logan Paul. They literally did that and then went and did his podcast. I did not know that. I did not realize that until I just watched it today. So, and it was cool because you get to see a little bit more insight. This is the kind of stuff that I'm cool with. You know what I mean? Like a show where you're actually looking into it. Because again, I think about like some of the podcasts. I don't care that Cody Rhodes is doing, you know, his podcast to pull back the curtain on stuff. I don't care that the Dead Man Show. I'm all for it. I'll sit there and I'll gobble up the info. To me, it's when it's the live encounters and stuff like that, and you've got such a pivotal storyline of this angry heel John Cena retirement tour that already has a ton of backlash because of the stuff that I was talking about with The Rock and the rudderless ship and just throwing things against the wall and seeing what sticks. Because I felt like I got my money's worth going to see that show. Did I, as a fan afterwards, feel ripped off watching WrestleMania and not getting any payoff to that with any part of it except for Travis Scott, who really didn't look like he should have been there in the first place? Because again, you bring him out, but you don't bring out The Rock, who is the mastermind of it all. Like, where is this? And unless this is a perfect slow burn to Mania next year in Vegas, and the two of them basically hang it up for good, and that is that, even though he said December, does The Rock come out and basically like screw Cena somehow, that Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view in Boston or whatever, it'll be a big thing, and then they'll do like WrestleMania send-off match between the two of them or something, and that's that. Like the only exception. But at this point, as a fan, I know most people feel ripped off by that, and the fact that he literally like The Rock just went on and was like, yeah, I just did it to drum up ticket sales. Like, I don't like TKO spokesperson The Rock. I like Final Boss heel Rock just fine. I like every other part of The Rock. I don't like when he's shilling like that, because he forgets that line between this is the show, this is the investor stuff, and he will literally do the investor, corporate, glad handing stuff directly in front of us watching the story. Like, watching for the entertainment. You're sitting there bragging about the business aspect, because again, they should not have announced New Orleans. I think that was in very poor taste. And that's how I got into this whole conversation. Nothing but bad press for it, if I'm being very, very honest. And it disappoints me when I see that the decisions being made are strictly from we just want to squeeze every last dime out of every wallet that is tuned into us. Make your money, that's fine. Do not compromise what the industry and what the company is, because a lot of it is changing in a very bad way, and I don't like seeing it. You know, so that's my 2 cents on it. You know, it's fine. Vegas 2 years in a row. There's not too many cities that can do that and do it well. Again, this year, test run. Next year should be. If they run into hiccups next year and are poorly prepared for next year, that is 100% on them. Because this year was essentially like a test run. Can you handle it? Can you do it? Does it work? It does. Cool. Let's go full out. How can we streamline things? How can we make stuff work better? It's inexcusable if they mess it up next year. When they had a beta test this year. Because that's really what it felt like. Like, they did stuff, but it felt like they were just trying things to see how it would work, if I'm being honest. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not hating, I'm not beefing. As somebody who invested in the game and has been invested in the company for a lot longer than I like to admit. It took a very short amount of time to make it unrecognizable from what it was. You know, it's going to be something to see in the next year or two. But I'll say it right now, you know, don't be surprised if you see certain key individuals gone by the end of 2026. That is my expectation. Things will be different. And again, I know everything changes and everything's different over time. Like, the only constant is change. But I'm talking about stuff that's going to drastically change the everyday consumption and the everyday style of what this is. And again, I'm still waiting, as is many, many others, for the final mystery celebrity guest character that was in the last DLC pack that dropped a month and a half to 2 months ago. And we still haven't gotten it. And we've gotten a full secondary DLC pack out of it. Is this going to be something that they just forget about? Hope we don't care. Slowly just change the image graphic and take the mystery character out. Eventually just hope that nobody cares. Is that grounds for wrongful or for false advertising? Was it supposed to be somebody and that person no longer fits into place? Because that's what it seems like to me, is like they had somebody in mind, but they've run into issues getting things in line. And now they're kind of, I feel like they're almost scrambling or just completely dismissing it and acting like it's not there. Even though all it is complaints about Blitz 25, Cena 25, and the mystery celeb. So, you know, I think it's worrisome as a fan. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to stop talking about it because all I'm doing is just getting myself worked up. But yeah. Yay Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, if you did. It's been fun. Yeah. So, you know, as it is. We'll, yeah, I'll be on later. And